Hey strong people, Kalle Beck here from StartingStrongman.com, and before I get started, I just want to mention that currently running a sale on all of our ebooks at store.startingstrongman.com. You can save 20% off all of the ebooks, including the Cube Method for Strongman, all 3 volumes by Josh Thigpen, our new upper body mobility manual, just making sure to keep your shoulders in tight. That's only like $6. My book, How to Train Strongman in a Regular Gym, and more. Just go to store.startingstrongman.com to do that. And also, all of our apparel is on sale. That's also at store.startingstrongman.com, or click the link below. And I think that's on sale for one more day, code America. Without an A. I don't pick those. Anyways, now that that is over, I lost a window. I want to talk about the next Arnold Pro Strongman World Series event. It's a qualifier for the Arnold Classic 2019 in Ohio, and this one is up in Canada. This one's interesting because I believe this is the only qualifier that is not an Arnold. It's an Arnold qualifier, but it's not an Arnold. It's not an Arnold Expo event at Arnold Europe, Brazil, etc. It's a festival up in Warwick, Canada. It's taking place on July 7th and 8th, and it has 10 events. Very old school strongman. Canada actually has a very good pro strongman circuit, and they seem to treat their athletes very well. But they have long events, as in, they're 2-3 days, and you're going to be competing 4 or 5 days each day. Very old school in that way. So definitely brutal, where most of the Arnolds are 5 events. The Arnold qualifiers are 5 events over one day. But, so you're doing 2 contests back to back. And what this does is there's more of a variety of events that the athletes are competing in. And this is how more strongman shows used to be. And it makes it a little more up in the air. And definitely, on who's going to win, because, there's more, you need better consistency across events. Honestly, you can actually have one bad event if there's 9 others you can make it up in, and that's why I think this might be the one that Kiełzakowski takes. But before we get too far into it, just want to mention who is already qualified in the Arnold Pro Strongman World Series. Hafthor Bjornsson is qualified. Rano Hanla is qualified. Novikov is qualified for winning the amateur contest. Mikhail Shivlikov for winning Arnold South America, and JF Karan for winning Arnold Africa. The current points leader, and how that works is, you get a maximum of 10 points for first, 9 for second for every Arnold you do. The top 2 points leaders that didn't win a qualifier, because that's how you qualify as you win. The ones that didn't win end up also going to the Arnold Classic. Currently, Jerry Pritchett leads, but he is not competing this weekend. And second and third are Kiełzakowski, with Jerry Pritchett has 20 points, Kiełzakowski has 16, and Jitz Kramer has 14, and Belsak of Slovenia has 11, with Dimitar Sabatinov having 13, but Dimitar is also not competing. Brian Shaw with 9, Martins Lisis with 8. So, going into the contest, a little hard to find. If the contest is called, I'm totally gonna mess this up, because it's French Canadian, so it's like Festival Holmes Day Warwick. That's what it says. So it wasn't the easiest information to find on the schedule of events. There's 2 separate. There was an event page for the whole thing. You guys don't care about this. That just said the whole festival. Then there was individual event pages for each day. I almost messed up and thought it was 5 days until I translated. Then I had to translate it from French. So it's roughly, these might be a little wrong on how I translate them. But before I get going, we're going to talk about who's competing. Now, there's a couple of Canadian athletes competing, and I'm sure you all know about JF Karan, the perpetual 5th strongest man in the world. But this is a really stacked Arnold, maybe the most stacked, as far as the qualifiers go. We have Brian Shaw, who is coming, and I guess this is the one he picked. It seems like Brian doesn't generally do the whole circuit. He goes, he's like, I'm going to pick one, I know I'm going to win it, I'm going to qualify, and he's good. So Brian Shaw is coming to Canada to qualify for the 2019 Arnold Classic. JF Caron is competing in his home country, Rano Hanla. JF Caron is already qualified, so if he wins, whoever gets in second or below him qualifies. Rano Hanla also already qualified. He's always been right there in the top 3-4. Pretty much every Arnold qualifier so far. Tejas Kielzikowski that is competing. So I think it's going to be a big showdown between those two, Shaw and Kielzikowski. Belsack is going. The Mateusz Ojikowski is competing. Canadians, sorry if I mess up these names. They just did Ontario Strongest Man. Pretty much everyone else, or a couple of these guys did, I think last weekend, and did very well. Maxime Baudret, I don't know, I'm going to mess that one up, sorry. And Carl. Maxime got first in Ontario, and Carl got second. And Jimmy Pacqua also joins them, another Canadian. Then we have Yuli Mackay, sorry on that, and Jitz Kramer, who does very well, and Martins Lisi. So Martins, a lot of odd events. And I think he's definitely going to be right up there. So let's go on to the events. So that's a very big lineup. That's like pretty much the top 5 from Worlds, with probably arguably the best person who's not invited to World's Strongest Man competing, Rano Hanla. So moving on to the events they will be competing in on Saturday, July 7th. They have a truck pull with a harness and a rope. I think this one is really going to be between Brian Shaw and Kielzikowski, with Kielzikowski taking it, most likely. He seems to always win truck pull. Then there's going to be, I'm not too sure on the translation what this event is. I think it might be an overhead medley, or because it says how it translated is one dumbbell that weighs 225 pounds plus wooden logs, 325, 350, 375 in repetition. Some sort of overhead medley. Of course, Brian Shaw will do well. Looks like, Kielzikowski just set the dumbbell world record, and also looked very well, doing good at log again, so he seems to be back. So I think it's really going to be between them in the first 2 events, with some other people keeping it in the mix. I think there is a Hercules hold next. That is a anyone's game event. A lot of grip. Martins has a great grip. I think that's one where some other people might come in a little bit. They really hammer grip events in Canada. So some of the newer Canadian athletes might slip in some points in there, and that's where someone can really fall, because if you just have a bad event, other people that might not get in between you on an event that's easy to judge what's going to happen, like a deadlift for repetitions, can go in there and steal points and make someone else have a bigger lead. Then there will be a keg toss, which it's hard to bet against anyone. I mean, it's hard to bet against Brian Shaw in that event if Hafthor Bjornsson isn't competing, and he's not. So 16 feet in height, 40, 45, 50, and 55 pounds. Surprised that all of these were done in in pounds and instead of in metric system, considering I got this from Canada. Then day 1 caps off with an Atlas Stone Series from 245 pounds to 400 pounds. Shaw, Lisi, Kielzikowski, Jitz Kramer is good at stones. I think, JF Karan, of course, but I think Brian Shaw takes it. I think Brian Shaw is nice and healthy. He's had a good break after the Arnold and the Worlds, and he's really going to put on a performance this weekend. Day 2. So this one translated as the markets of hell. 425, 475, and 525 pounds. And to kind of figure out what some of these events were going to be, I stalked a couple of the competitors. It's Instagrams, and I believe it's going to be a power stairs. It makes sense with the weight ranges and and the description for some of the shorter athletes, and that there's 3 of them. That's pretty standard in power stairs. So Brian Shaw has a huge advantage being so tall and being a seasoned competitor. I don't know how Kilkowski's power stairs are, but any event like that, he seems to be very well equipped at. So we'll just see. Martins look good. Ronald Hanla is a little shorter. It might hurt him. JF Karan has a great back, and they practice events like that a lot in Canada. A squat, 700 pounds for repetitions. This is where, Ronald Hanla will make up some, JF Karan make up some points. Of course, I think Brian Shaw is going to win this, and this is where it could go wrong for Kilzakowski, because I don't know how true this is, but I've heard he doesn't even squat. Don't really see a video of it. So we'll see what happens there. That's going to be a very crucial event, I think. A wheelbarrow, a Canadian staple. An impossibly heavy wheelbarrow to carry a short distance with no straps. Listed at 2,000 plus pounds and only having to be carried 15 feet. Who's bringing their grip today? JF Karan, I think, is actually a favorite in this. Martins has a good grip. Shaw, of course, being so big and just being Brian Shaw. Kilzakowski, I think, could do well in this as well. It's tough. It's an interesting event. And then lifting the automotive. It's a front handle car deadlift. Look for a great matchup in this between Shaw, Hanla, and JF Karan. And then a single fingers, which I think I want to see this one at the end. Of course, again, a very crucial event for Kilzakowski, with there being, the deadlift, the vein of his existence. Wins every event but the deadlift and gets second. It's happened at Summer Mania. It just happens. Then the last event, which is interesting, is a single fingers. Don't remember any videos of Kilzakowski doing a single fingers. Brian Shaw is very, very good at them. Most of the other athletes are, but I'm hoping it's close. I think with more events overall, it helps an athlete like Kilzakowski, who has a hole in his game, like the deadlift, where he loses so many points, he has so many more events to make up, and I think that's why he might possibly beat Brian Shaw this weekend. But Brian Shaw, I think he's had less busy of a competition schedule, and Kilzakowski bested him at Worlds, and I think he's really coming into this one ready, prepared, and strong, and I think he takes it and qualifies for the Arnold 2019. Kilzakowski gets second and bumps up to first. He would get 9 points, and then he would leapfrog Jerry Pritchett into the #1 wild card spot. And he'll probably go and take the Arnold Europe, of course. Hanla and Karan, who are already qualified, will be right up there in the top 3 to 5, I'd say. And Elises might just win the whole thing. He beat Kilzakowski just a couple weeks ago at Ultimate Strongman Summer Mania. No reason he can't do it again. I think he's right there, but I think that's going to be my top 5. Shocker there. Belsack will pick up points on stuff like truck pull. I think squat. Sorry, I totally forgot about him. He's going to do great at squat. I think events like the wheelbarrow with a heavy grip event are going to hurt him. but he'll be right up there in the mix, cracking in the top 5. Yeah, but I'm just hoping it's close at the end, and the Fingal Fingers, Kilzakowski versus Shaw. I think I kind of see a little rivalry going here. Being the biggest competitor versus one of the smaller, very different styles of athletes, and it looks like it's going to be a great show. It's interesting that this is also an outdoor event. Weather is sometimes sporadic in the summer in Canada, so who knows what happens with that. Be sure to stay tuned to follow me at Starting Strongman, follow myself at Let Kalle Lift, subscribe to this channel, and go to startingstrongman.com. Be posting results, reposting videos that we find as they happen this weekend, possible live streams on our Facebook page, facebook.com/startingstrongman. And of course, go to store.startingstrongman.com for products such as my ebook, How to Train Strongman in a Regular Gym, which is 20% off until the end of this weekend.